All right, taking a look at the Alabama Crimson Tide and their draft board for this 2022 NFL Draft. Cole Cubelic here kind of breaking things down for us. Brian Robinson, he's a power back. He's a guy that sat and waited his turn at Alabama. And now here we are as he gets ready to learn his fate, where his name will be called on draft day. He's explosive. He has the ability to make defenses miss. He creates running lanes. He's got a knack for that. He's just a big power back. In your opinion, after having to sit and wait his turn, how do you see him, how did you see him grow into this starring role?
I think the first thing, as far as waiting his turn, nobody's going to knock him for that, because you had guys like Josh Jacobs, like Najee Harris. It's tough to get on the field in front of players like that. So nobody's going to look at him and say, well, why didn't this guy play? Flip side of that, really only 1 year is the feature back. So a lot of teams are going to say, oh, there's a lot of tread left on the tires.
Yeah.
And a guy who can come in, and we don't really have to worry about durability or him wearing down, because he wasn't the feature back for multiple seasons at Alabama. And then, too, I think he just learned how to improve different portions of his game. My favorite part of his game is pass protection. And there's so many backs in college that don't want to do it, won't do it, don't think they should do it, and that carries to the NFL. Brian Robinson seems to love it. And I think he got some of that from watching Najee Harris sit behind Najee, because Najee had a really good knack for doing it as well. But physicality is not something that's a concern. Running between the tackles, bouncing outside, welcoming contact, pass protection as well. We know that the running back position has been devalued. So are you going to get first-round backs? Very rarely. Does he have a chance to come off the board maybe even in the second? Probably not. It's a pretty crowded running back group, and I think they're all pretty close in what they are and what they project to be, at least the top 5 to 7. But Brian Robinson's in that group, and I think he's a guy that gives you someone who can catch the ball out of the backfield. He gives you flexibility as far as power between the tackles and a burst outside. And just physically, I think when you get up next to him and see him, he's going to impress a lot of NFL scouts and coaches. When I watched the film with Alabama, there were multiple games that I would just stop it and look and say, like, he looks like a tight end in the backfield, like, especially next to Bryce Young. He's just so big in stature. There's going to be value in that going to the next level. So I think he's a great prospect. He's not going to be a game breaker and somebody who just utilizes speed to be able to give you explosive plays. But there are a lot of teams that want that back that can grind it out, offer you something extra in pass protection, and be a little bit versatile. And I think Robinson gives you that.
Talking a little trash on the field? Yeah, we get it. Trashing the state with litter? That's terrible. Keep it clean. Keep Alabama beautiful.